Rise and shine with Mind Fuel Audio. Inspired by the 5 a.m. Club. In the 5 a.m. Club, Robin Sharma reveals the secrets to transforming your productivity, success, and happiness by embracing the power of a 5 a.m. routine. Chapter 1, The Spellbinder's Presentation. The first chapter of the 5 a.m. Club opens with a dramatic setting. It's a grand auditorium filled with a diverse group of people, from ambitious entrepreneurs to struggling creatives, all hoping to learn the key to unlocking their true potential. The room is electric, charged with anticipation as the crowd eagerly awaits the arrival of the Spellbinder, a world-renowned speaker whose words have the power to transform lives. As the lights dim, the audience falls into a hushed silence. The Spellbinder steps onto the stage, and the energy in the room shifts. He's a man of humble appearance, gray hair, an unassuming suit, but his presence commands attention. There's something magnetic about him, a quiet yet powerful aura that draws everyone in. As he begins to speak, his voice is calm, yet laced with an intensity that demands to be heard. How many of you are truly living the lives you've always dreamed of, he asks. And how many of you feel like something is slipping away, like your potential is not being fully realized? The audience sits on the edge of their seats, as the Spellbinder's words pierce through their complacency. He challenges them to confront their deepest fears. Are they living their best lives, or are they merely existing, caught in the daily grind of work, stress, and routine? He tells them that, too often, people drift through life, unaware of the immense power they hold within themselves to change their circumstances. His message is simple but profound. To achieve extraordinary results, you must master the ordinary things, the habits, routines, and disciplines that shape your life every day. This idea is central to the Spellbinder's philosophy, and he's about to reveal the secret that can unlock this power. It's a concept so simple, yet so transformative: owning your mornings. The Spellbinder tells the crowd that the key to success lies in mastering the first few hours of the day. He introduces the idea of the victory hour, the sacred time between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. This hour, he explains, is the most powerful part of the day. While the world sleeps, the early riser has the opportunity to reclaim their mind, body, and soul. It's the time when true growth and transformation can occur. In this hour, you can exercise, reflect, meditate, and work on your most important goals, all before the distractions of the day begin. The Spellbinder emphasizes that most people squander this time, either by sleeping in or by jumping straight into the chaos of their day. He urges the audience to think about their mornings in a new light. The way you start your day, he says, determines the way you live your life. If you control your mornings, you control your destiny. He shares powerful stories to illustrate this point. One of the most impactful is about a struggling entrepreneur who, after adopting the 5 a.m. routine, was able to completely transform her life. She started waking up at 5 a.m. every day, dedicating the first hour to personal development. She would read, journal, meditate, and plan her day with focus and intention. Over time, this habit allowed her to make better decisions, stay focused, and ultimately achieve the business success she had always dreamed of. The Spellbinder also shares the story of an artist who, like many creative minds, struggled with self-doubt and a lack of direction. This artist began using the 5 a.m. hour to focus solely on his craft, cutting out distractions and dedicating that time to painting. The results were nothing short of magical. His creativity flourished, and his career as an artist took off. The lesson here is clear: the most successful people in the world don't wait for the world to motivate them, they create the time and space to grow, to think, and to innovate. As the Spellbinder speaks, his passion is infectious. He's not just talking about abstract concepts, he's speaking from experience. He's been where the audience is, and he knows the power that comes from waking up early and committing to personal excellence. But he doesn't stop there. The spellbinder goes on to explain that mastering the morning isn't just about productivity. It's also about balance and well-being. He talks about the importance of mental, physical, and emotional health, and how the 5 a.m. routine can help nurture all three. He introduces the concept of the 4 interior empires that every person must cultivate to live a truly successful life. Mindset, the mental foundation that drives your actions and decisions. Heart set, the emotional intelligence and strength needed to face challenges. Health set, the physical well-being that supports all other endeavors. Soul set, the spiritual connection that brings meaning and purpose to life. The spellbinder argues that the key to mastering these 4 areas lies in how we begin our day. The early morning hours are the perfect time to focus on all 4, to ground ourselves before the demands of the day take over. With each story, each example, the spellbinder reinforces his message. The 5 a.m. habit is not just a productivity tool, it's a life-altering ritual that can help you unlock your true potential. He tells the crowd that the magic of this hour isn't about hard work or sacrifice, it's about creating space for yourself, for your growth, and for your dreams. The crowd listens intently, hanging on every word. It's clear that the spellbinder has struck a chord. He challenges them to take action, to commit to waking up at 5 a.m. and dedicating that first hour to something that will push them closer to their goals. But just as the spellbinder reaches the climax of his speech, something shocking happens. His voice falters, and his body trembles. He grabs the podium for support, and then, in a tragic turn of events, he collapses on stage. The room is thrown into chaos. People rush forward, calling for help, but it's too late. The spellbinder has fallen, and the audience is left in stunned silence. But even in his fall, his message resonates. It's as if his life and his work were a final reminder that life is fragile and that time is precious. You don't have forever, his message seems to say. If you want to make your mark on the world, you must start today. Begin now, before it's too late. This sudden and unexpected moment serves as a powerful wake-up call for both the audience and the readers. It reinforces the urgency of living with purpose, of seizing the moment, and of not waiting for the perfect time to begin. The spellbinder's collapse is a symbolic reminder that life is fleeting and that every day we wait is a day we lose in our pursuit of greatness. The chapter ends on a note of mystery and intrigue. The spellbinder may have fallen, but his message endures. Who was he, really? What wisdom did he possess that could change the course of an individual's life? And what will happen next in this transformative journey? The readers are left eager to uncover the answers, and thus the stage is set for the lessons and insights that will follow in the coming chapters. Chapter 2, An Unexpected Encounter. Chapter 2 of the 5 a.m. Club dives deeper into the narrative, shifting from the mesmerizing world of the spellbinder's teachings to an unexpected encounter that serves as the key to the main character's journeys. The story continues to follow the protagonist, a frustrated and disillusioned artist, who has recently witnessed the spellbinder's life-altering presentation. Although she was moved by his words, she has yet to take any significant action, feeling as though something is still holding her back. She struggles with self-doubt and a lack of direction, unsure of how to integrate the spellbinder's wisdom into her own chaotic life. But everything begins to change the moment she meets a mysterious and influential figure, the billionaire. This encounter sparks the beginning of a radical transformation in her life. The billionaire, an older man with a reputation for both his wealth and profound wisdom, steps into the protagonist's life at just the right moment. Their first meeting is unconventional, it takes place in an unlikely location, and the billionaire's approach is unexpectedly simple and humble. At first glance, he doesn't seem like the kind of person who would have all the answers, yet there's something intriguing about him. He doesn't boast about his success, rather, he offers a quiet confidence that immediately draws the protagonist in. The billionaire invites the protagonist to join him on a journey, one that promises not only financial success but personal growth and mastery over every aspect of life. He challenges her to push beyond her current mindset, to confront her fears, and to adopt the mindset of someone who sees each moment as an opportunity to rise above mediocrity. Intrigued, yet still skeptical, the protagonist agrees to follow him on what will turn out to be a life-changing journey. The billionaire promises to teach her how to achieve greatness, not through shortcuts, but through disciplined, focused effort, and, most importantly, by waking up early. The billionaire is no ordinary mentor. He doesn't use grandiose speeches or complicated theories. Instead, he focuses on actionable steps and practical lessons. He explains that true wealth and success come not from external factors but from an internal mastery that must be cultivated over time. He introduces the idea of the 5 a.m. habit, telling the protagonist that every successful person he knows, whether a top athlete, business magnate, or artist, has made waking up early an essential part of their routine. He teaches her the first essential lesson: the way you begin your day determines the rest of your life. This simple yet powerful truth is the foundation of everything the billionaire wants to impart to her. The protagonist, still hesitant and unsure, asks why waking up at 5 a.m. is so crucial. The billionaire patiently explains that the early morning hours are when the mind is most clear and focused, unburdened by the distractions of the day. It's a time of solitude and peace, an opportunity to work on one's body, mind, and soul before the world begins to demand attention. He tells her that, in these quiet hours, people have the chance to align their thoughts with their highest goals and greatest potential. The key is consistency, he says. By committing to this time every day, one can build a routine that nurtures every area of life and sets the stage for success. He goes on to introduce the concept of the 4 interior empires, which he believes are critical to mastering life. These 4 areas, mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set, are the foundation of a life lived with purpose and intention. By dedicating time to each of these areas in the morning, individuals can begin to take charge of their lives and cultivate a sense of balance, control, and fulfillment. The billionaire explains that the most successful people in the world have mastered these 4 empires and that doing so is the key to living a rich and meaningful life. The lesson here is clear: waking up early is not just about getting a head start on work or checking items off a to-do list. It's about creating the time and space for personal growth. By focusing on the 4 interior empires each morning, individuals can build the kind of mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual strength that will lead to a life of extraordinary success. The protagonist, still grappling with her doubts, begins to feel a shift within herself. She realizes that her current habits, staying up late, waking up tired, and rushing through her day, are not serving her highest purpose. She understands that, if she truly wants to live a life of greatness, she must start with her mornings. The billionaire has shown her the way, but it is up to her to take the first step. As the chapter progresses, the protagonist begins to slowly implement the changes the billionaire has suggested. She starts waking up at 5 a.m., not to work or to achieve external success, but to focus on her own growth. She dedicates the first hour of the day to personal reflection, meditation, exercise, and setting clear intentions for the day ahead. Gradually, she notices a shift in her energy and mindset. She feels more focused, grounded, and aligned with her goals. The chapter ends on a note of transformation. The protagonist has taken her first step toward a new way of living, a life of discipline, purpose, and growth. She's embraced the 5 a.m. habit and is beginning to feel the profound effects it has on her mind, body, and spirit. But there's still more to learn, and the journey ahead promises even greater challenges and rewards. Chapter 3: The 5 a.m. Club Philosophy. Chapter 3 of the 5 a.m. Club delves into the heart of the philosophy behind the transformative 5 a.m. habit. It takes the reader deeper into the reasons why waking up early can revolutionize one's life and offers powerful insights that inspire action. The chapter begins by explaining the magic behind the 5 a.m. habit, a central concept introduced earlier by the billionaire mentor, who now begins to share even more specific details about why this habit is so powerful. The billionaire begins by explaining the profound importance of owning the first hour of the day. He explains that the 5 a.m. hour, often referred to as the victory hour, is the most powerful and productive time of day. For most people, the early morning hours are sacred. This period, from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., represents a quiet oasis before the distractions of the day take hold. The world is still, and the mind is fresh, an ideal state for tapping into one's greatest potential. The billionaire walks the protagonist through the science behind this idea. He emphasizes that early risers benefit from a burst of energy and clarity because their bodies are rested, and their minds are free of the mental clutter that builds up during the day. At 5 a.m., he explains, the brain is primed for creativity, focus, and self-reflection. By making the most of this hour, one can establish a strong foundation for the day, nurturing the body, mind, and spirit in ways that lead to greater fulfillment and success. What makes the 5 a.m. hour so powerful, according to the billionaire, is that it allows for focused, uninterrupted time. While the rest of the world is asleep, those who rise early have the space to take control of their lives before anything else demands their attention. The chapter goes into great detail about the importance of setting clear intentions for the day ahead. By spending the first hour of the day engaging in purposeful activities, individuals can set the tone for everything that follows. This victory hour is broken down into 3 key segments, which the billionaire refers to as the 20/20/20 formula. This formula helps readers structure their morning routine for maximum impact. The first segment of the victory hour, the first 20 minutes, is dedicated to movement. The billionaire emphasizes the importance of exercising first thing in the morning, as it releases dopamine and serotonin, the brain's natural mood-boosting chemicals. These chemicals not only improve mood but also increase mental clarity and focus, setting a positive tone for the rest of the day. The second 20 minutes of the victory hour is dedicated to reflection. This segment is about taking the time to clear the mind and set intentions for the day. The billionaire recommends practices such as journaling, meditation, and gratitude exercises. By reflecting on what's important and what one is grateful for, individuals can cultivate a mindset of abundance, positivity, and purpose. This time allows for clarity and helps reduce stress, ensuring that individuals are prepared for the challenges they may face throughout the day. The final 20 minutes is dedicated to growth. This segment is about personal development, learning, and growth. The billionaire encourages the protagonist to read or listen to something that promotes growth, whether it's a book, a podcast, or a course. He explains that constant learning is the key to personal mastery and that investing in oneself during these early hours leads to long-term success. This segment helps set the stage for professional and personal development, keeping individuals on track toward their highest goals. The billionaire stresses that success is not about working harder, but about working smarter. By dedicating just 1 hour a day to growth, reflection, and physical activity, anyone can set themselves up for extraordinary results. He talks about how many of the world's most successful people, from athletes to business leaders to creative professionals, have adopted this routine and seen remarkable results. As the protagonist begins to internalize the 20/20/20 formula, she starts to see how her life could change if she applied it consistently. She feels a new sense of energy and enthusiasm as she imagines what could be possible for her. She realizes that if she commits to the 5 a.m. habit, she can build the life she's always dreamed of. But it's not just about external success. this routine also helps create inner peace and fulfillment, a sense of balance that is often missing in her life. The chapter goes on to explore the challenges that come with adopting a new routine. The billionaire acknowledges that waking up at 5 a.m. every day is not easy. He shares the idea of the 5 a.m. struggle, the natural resistance that comes from our biology. Our brains are wired to seek comfort, and waking up early goes against that instinct. The billionaire encourages the protagonist not to give up during the tough early days of the habit. Instead, he urges her to push through the discomfort, knowing that the benefits will soon follow. He explains that the most successful people in the world are not necessarily the ones who are naturally gifted or lucky, they are the ones who are willing to embrace discomfort and push through the challenges. The 5 a.m. habit is a key tool in developing this kind of discipline and resilience. Over time, waking up early becomes easier, and the rewards compound. With consistency, individuals begin to see dramatic improvements in their energy, focus, creativity, and overall well-being. The protagonist begins to see the truth of the billionaire's words. She starts to feel more energized, more motivated, and more in control of her life. By waking up early and following the 20/20/20 formula, she finds that she is able to accomplish more, experience less stress, and cultivate a sense of inner peace that had eluded her for years. She also notices a shift in her mindset. She feels more confident, knowing that she is taking control of her life and shaping her future. The chapter ends on a note of anticipation. The protagonist is on the path to transformation, but there is still more to discover. As she continues to apply the lessons she has learned, she begins to realize that there is no limit to what she can achieve. The 5 a.m. habit, she understands, is just the beginning of a much larger journey toward personal mastery, success, and fulfillment. Chapter 4: The Wisdom of the 5 a.m. Club. In Chapter 4 of the 5 a.m. Club, the story takes a deeper dive into the transformative power of waking up at 5 a.m. The protagonist has now fully embraced the early morning routine and is beginning to see the early signs of change in her life. This chapter focuses on the deeper principles and philosophies that underpin the 5 a.m. habit, explaining how it works on a psychological and physiological level to create extraordinary results. The billionaire, who has now become the protagonist's mentor, continues to guide her through the early stages of this transformative journey. He explains that the true value of waking up early is not just about increasing productivity or getting a head start on the day. It's about creating a life of intentionality, balance, and purpose. The 5 a.m. habit is a powerful tool for self-mastery, but it requires consistent effort, focus, and discipline. One of the core lessons introduced in this chapter is the idea of the 20/20/20 formula. This formula is a step-by-step guide to structuring the first hour of the day to optimize physical, mental, and emotional well-being. The billionaire explains that this hour is the most important time of day because it allows for uninterrupted focus on personal growth. He further elaborates on each segment of the formula. The first 20 minutes, movement. The billionaire emphasizes the importance of movement in the morning, which kickstarts the body's metabolism and helps to get the blood flowing. This segment could involve anything from running or cycling to yoga or stretching. The key idea is that by engaging in vigorous activity early in the morning, you activate your body's natural energy and boost your mood for the rest of the day. This segment also helps to release the feel-good hormones in the brain, such as endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin, which naturally reduce stress and promote a sense of well-being. Physical activity, according to the billionaire, is the foundation for a productive day because it primes the brain for focus, creativity, and resilience. The second 20 minutes, reflection. In the next 20 minutes, the billionaire advises engaging in reflective practices such as journaling, meditation, or prayer. This time is designed for quiet introspection, allowing individuals to connect with their deeper values, set clear intentions for the day, and practice gratitude. Reflection helps to center the mind and cultivate a sense of purpose and calm, which is critical for facing the challenges of the day ahead. The billionaire teaches that this period is essential for reducing mental clutter and boosting emotional intelligence. By acknowledging one's feelings and thoughts during this time, it becomes easier to control emotions and respond to external stressors with clarity and composure. Practicing gratitude, in particular, can shift the brain's focus from negativity to abundance, creating a positive mindset that drives success. The final 20 minutes, growth. The last 20 minutes of the Victory Hour are dedicated to personal growth. The billionaire encourages the protagonist to spend this time reading or learning something that contributes to personal and professional development. Whether it's reading a book, listening to a podcast, or engaging in an online course, the goal is to spend this time enriching the mind with new knowledge, ideas, and inspiration. He underscores that lifelong learning is one of the key differentiators between successful people and those who stay stuck in mediocrity. By devoting time to growth, individuals not only stay intellectually sharp, but they also create momentum toward achieving their long-term goals. This constant investment in oneself builds confidence and helps to unlock untapped potential. As the protagonist practices the 20/20/20 formula, she begins to notice small but significant changes in her mindset and productivity. She feels more energized, more organized, and more confident in her ability to handle the demands of her day. She starts to see that by controlling the first hour of the day, she can gain control over the rest of it. Her focus improves, and she becomes more efficient in her work, accomplishing more in less time. However, the chapter also explores the challenges that come with developing a new habit, especially one as demanding as waking up at 5 a.m. The billionaire teaches that the key to overcoming the resistance people often face when building new habits is consistency. He stresses that while the early days may feel difficult, the rewards of discipline are immense. Over time, the habit becomes second nature, and the effort required to wake up early diminishes. He also explains that one of the reasons why people struggle with the 5 a.m. habit is because of a lack of sleep. Many individuals are used to staying up late and not getting enough rest, which leads to feelings of fatigue and low energy in the morning. The billionaire emphasizes the importance of getting adequate sleep each night, around 7 to 8 hours, so that individuals can wake up feeling refreshed and energized. This sleep routine is essential for sustaining long-term productivity and avoiding burnout. Additionally, the chapter delves into the psychological benefits of waking up early. The billionaire explains that early risers tend to have a sense of control over their lives because they have proactively chosen to invest in their well-being and personal growth. This simple decision builds confidence, as it demonstrates the ability to take control of one's schedule and make intentional choices about how to spend time. The protagonist is inspired by the changes she has begun to see and the potential for even greater transformation in her life. But she is also reminded that change is a gradual process. The billionaire encourages her to be patient with herself and to understand that lasting success is built on daily habits, not instant results. By the end of Chapter 4, the protagonist is beginning to internalize the lessons of the 5 a.m. habit. She recognizes that waking up early is not just about productivity, but about creating a life of purpose and intention. The chapter leaves the protagonist, and the reader, excited about the possibilities that lie ahead. She's ready to embrace the discipline required to make this change, knowing that every small step will bring her closer to the person she is meant to be. Chapter 5, The Spellbinder's Secret. Chapter 5 of the 5 a.m. Club deepens the transformative journey of the protagonist, who is now embracing the principles taught by the billionaire mentor and feeling the first signs of change. The chapter is focused on the unveiling of the Spellbinder's Secret, a concept that goes beyond the early morning routine and explores the deeper motivations behind human behavior, success, and fulfillment. The protagonist begins to realize that there is much more to mastering life than simply waking up early. There is a mindset shift that must accompany every action. The protagonist, still feeling the aftereffects of her meeting with the billionaire, seeks further guidance and understanding. She begins to appreciate that the 5 a.m. habit is only one part of a much larger philosophy that involves total self-mastery. The billionaire, understanding her need for deeper insight, begins to share the spellbinder's secret, a powerful and transformative idea that unlocks the full potential of the mind. The spellbinder's secret is based on a profound understanding of human psychology and motivation. It centers around the idea that, in order to achieve lasting success and fulfillment, one must develop a mindset of self-mastery that is grounded in discipline, vision, and purpose. The key to achieving greatness, according to the billionaire, is to align one's thoughts, actions, and beliefs with their highest goals and values. This alignment is what allows individuals to transcend ordinary existence and step into a realm of extraordinary potential. One of the core concepts of the spellbinder's secret is the idea of creating a visionary life. The billionaire teaches the protagonist that those who live with vision are the ones who achieve remarkable success. Visionaries are not just dreamers, they are individuals who are clear on their purpose, understand their strengths, and are willing to take consistent, disciplined action toward their goals. The billionaire urges the protagonist to create a compelling vision for her life and to anchor every action in this vision. The billionaire also stresses that a strong vision is only effective if it is supported by unshakable discipline. Discipline is the bridge between vision and achievement. Without discipline, dreams remain just that, dreams. Discipline is what turns aspirations into concrete results. The protagonist, still adjusting to the early morning routine, begins to understand that the 5 a.m. habit is a tool to cultivate this kind of discipline. It is in those early hours that one can take control of their day, focus on their vision, and begin to align every action with their goals. The spellbinder's secret also emphasizes the importance of deep work, focused, uninterrupted effort on tasks that are aligned with one's purpose. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, and most people spend their days reacting to external circumstances rather than proactively creating the life they desire. The billionaire teaches the protagonist that deep work, especially when done during the first few hours of the day, allows individuals to move closer to their goals with intensity and purpose. In this chapter, the protagonist begins to implement the idea of deep work into her routine. She sets aside time each day for uninterrupted focus on her most important projects, work that moves her toward her vision. The results are immediate. She feels more energized, more present, and more committed to her work. The distractions that once seemed so overwhelming are now easier to ignore, and she feels a sense of mastery over her own time and energy. The chapter also introduces the concept of the 2 a.m. rule, which emphasizes the importance of making tough decisions that align with one's vision. The 2 a.m. rule suggests that, if a decision is not in alignment with one's highest goals, it should be discarded, even if it means making temporary sacrifices. The billionaire teaches that personal greatness often requires giving up short-term pleasures or comforts for long-term gain. This principle becomes a key focus for the protagonist as she starts to make decisions that align more closely with her vision, even when it's uncomfortable or difficult. The billionaire further elaborates on the role of self-talk in achieving success. He explains that the way we talk to ourselves influences our beliefs, which in turn influence our actions. Positive self-talk can propel us toward greatness, while negative self-talk can sabotage our progress. The protagonist, who has struggled with self-doubt and fear, learns to recognize the negative thoughts that hold her back. She begins to practice reframing her internal dialogue, replacing limiting beliefs with affirmations of strength and possibility. This practice of controlling her inner narrative becomes a powerful tool for the protagonist. As she continues her journey, she begins to realize that her mindset is the key to unlocking her true potential. By aligning her thoughts with her vision and practicing self-discipline, she becomes more capable of handling challenges, overcoming obstacles, and making decisions that serve her highest good. The chapter concludes with the protagonist realizing that the spellbinder's secret is not just about achieving external success. It is about creating a life of inner peace, fulfillment, and purpose. She understands that true greatness is not about accumulating wealth or status, but about becoming the best version of oneself. By embracing the principles of the 5 a.m. habit, developing a strong vision, practicing discipline, and aligning her thoughts with her highest goals, she begins to see that she has the power to create the life she has always wanted. In the final moments of Chapter 5, the protagonist reflects on the journey she has begun and the person she is becoming. She is no longer overwhelmed by the demands of life. Instead, she feels a renewed sense of control and purpose. The spellbinder's secret has unlocked a new level of clarity and focus, and she is ready to take her transformation to the next level. The chapter ends with the promise of even greater lessons and insights to come, leaving the protagonist, and the reader, excited about the next steps in the journey. Chapter 6, The 5 a.m. Club's Revolutionary Framework. Chapter 6 of the 5 a.m. Club continues to reveal deeper insights into the life-changing philosophy of waking up at 5 a.m. In this chapter, the protagonist's journey progresses as she becomes increasingly immersed in the teachings of the billionaire mentor. The focus shifts toward a revolutionary framework that promises not just personal success, but a holistic approach to living a fulfilling and balanced life. This framework integrates physical health, mental clarity, and emotional well-being, 3 pillars that the 5 a.m. habit helps to strengthen. The chapter opens with the protagonist, who is starting to grasp the profound significance of the 5 a.m. habit. She feels an internal shift as she embraces the early morning routine, and begins to see subtle improvements in her physical energy and mental focus. Yet, she recognizes that merely waking up early isn't enough. There is a deeper, more intentional way of structuring her day, and the billionaire is ready to reveal this framework that will make the 5 a.m. habit truly transformative. The billionaire introduces the protagonist to a powerful concept, the balanced life formula. This formula serves as a guide to achieving success in all areas of life, not just in work or career, but in personal development, relationships, and physical health. The billionaire emphasizes that success is a byproduct of holistic well-being, and achieving balance is the key to long-lasting fulfillment. The balanced life formula consists of 4 core elements. The first pillar, physical health. Physical health is the foundation upon which everything else is built. The billionaire stresses that health should never be neglected, as it is the key to sustaining the energy required to tackle the challenges of life. In this section, he explains that physical health is not just about looking good but about feeling great. The protagonist is encouraged to prioritize exercise, nutrition, and sleep, which are all essential components of a healthy lifestyle. The billionaire teaches that by starting the day with movement, as prescribed in the 20/20/20 formula, individuals can boost their energy levels, reduce stress, and enhance cognitive function. He shares insights into the importance of regular exercise, particularly cardiovascular and strength training activities, that elevate the body's ability to manage stress and maintain vitality. This segment becomes a turning point for the protagonist, who starts to embrace regular exercise as an essential part of her routine. The billionaire also emphasizes the importance of proper nutrition. He advises the protagonist to fuel her body with wholesome, nutritious foods that will give her sustained energy throughout the day. He advises against consuming sugar or processed foods that can lead to energy crashes. By making conscious choices about her diet, the protagonist begins to feel more energized, focused, and in control of her physical well-being. The second pillar, mental clarity. Mental clarity is the second pillar of the balanced life formula. The billionaire teaches that without a clear and focused mind, success is almost impossible. He explains that mental clarity is achieved through purposeful activities that sharpen the mind and eliminate distractions. He shares the importance of cultivating a mindset that is focused on growth, learning, and positive thinking. The protagonist learns that, to achieve mental clarity, it is essential to minimize negative thinking patterns, reduce distractions, and focus on the present moment. The 5 a.m. habit, with its emphasis on morning reflection, journaling, and meditation, becomes a powerful tool for achieving mental clarity. In this chapter, the billionaire encourages the protagonist to engage in deep work, meaning tasks that require undivided attention and intellectual effort. He explains that deep work is a key driver of success because it allows individuals to create high-quality results in less time. The protagonist begins to apply this principle, setting aside uninterrupted time for focused work, and immediately starts noticing improvements in her productivity and creativity. The third pillar, emotional well-being. The third pillar of the balanced life formula is emotional well-being. The billionaire emphasizes that emotional intelligence and resilience are essential for navigating the ups and downs of life. He shares that emotional well-being is the ability to manage one's emotions and respond to challenges with calmness and clarity. The protagonist learns that by practicing gratitude, mindfulness, and self-compassion, she can cultivate emotional resilience. By spending time in reflection each morning, as prescribed in the 20/20/20 formula, she begins to develop a deeper sense of self-awareness and emotional balance. She learns to acknowledge her feelings without judgment and finds new ways to cope with stress and anxiety. In addition to mindfulness practices, the billionaire advises her to cultivate strong, positive relationships. He explains that having a supportive network of friends and loved ones is crucial for emotional well-being. The protagonist begins to make more time for the people who matter most in her life, which brings a greater sense of connection, fulfillment, and emotional security. The fourth pillar, personal growth. The final pillar of the balanced life formula is personal growth. The billionaire explains that in order to live a truly fulfilled life, individuals must continue to learn, grow, and evolve. Personal growth is not just about accumulating knowledge, but about becoming the best version of oneself. In this section, the billionaire teaches the protagonist that lifelong learning is a key component of personal growth. He encourages her to engage in activities that challenge her and push her beyond her comfort zone. This could include reading books, attending seminars, taking on new projects, or engaging in creative pursuits. The protagonist is reminded that growth often involves stepping into discomfort, but that this is where true transformation occurs. The billionaire also emphasizes the importance of setting clear goals and measuring progress. He teaches the protagonist how to set specific, measurable, and actionable goals that are aligned with her vision for her life. By continuously pushing herself toward these goals, she can ensure that she is always growing and evolving. As the protagonist learns to apply the balanced life formula, she begins to see a remarkable shift in her life. She feels more energized, focused, and grounded. Her physical health improves, her mental clarity sharpens, and her emotional resilience grows. She begins to achieve her goals with greater ease and feels a sense of fulfillment and purpose that she has never experienced before. The 5 a.m. habit, combined with the principles of the balanced life formula, is beginning to work its magic. Chapter 7, the 20/20/20 formula. In Chapter 7 of the 5 a.m. Club, the protagonist is fully immersed in the transformative journey of waking up at 5 a.m. As she continues to embrace the early morning routine, she becomes more aware of the immense benefits it brings to her physical health, mental clarity, and overall productivity. The central theme of this chapter is the introduction of the 20/20/20 formula, a powerful framework designed to make the most of the first hour of the day. This formula, when implemented, promises to set the tone for a day filled with focus, energy, and purpose. The chapter begins with the protagonist waking up at 5 a.m., eager to apply the new teachings from the billionaire. At first, the protagonist feels a sense of hesitation and uncertainty, unsure if she's truly ready to embrace this disciplined lifestyle. However, as the minutes pass, she reminds herself of the deeper purpose behind the 5 a.m. habit: transformation, growth, and self-mastery. The billionaire mentor explains that the first hour of the day, often referred to as the victory hour, is the most critical time to set the stage for a successful, productive day. The 20/20/20 formula is designed to maximize this hour, ensuring that every moment is used in a way that aligns with the protagonist's goals and vision. The formula is split into 3 20-minute segments, each focusing on a different aspect of personal development. The first 20 minutes, move. The first 20 minutes of the day are dedicated to physical movement. The billionaire emphasizes that the key to starting the day with energy and clarity is to activate the body. Physical exercise is not just for fitness, it is a powerful way to kickstart the body's internal systems, increase circulation, and release endorphins, which help to improve mood and reduce stress. In this section, the protagonist is encouraged to engage in activities such as stretching, yoga, jogging, or other forms of cardiovascular exercise. The billionaire explains that these activities help to flood the brain with oxygen and boost overall energy levels, which makes it easier to face the challenges of the day with a sense of vitality. As the protagonist follows this routine, she begins to feel more awake, refreshed, and energized. The physical activity clears her mind, prepares her body for the day, and gives her a sense of accomplishment right at the beginning of her morning. She starts to understand that movement is not just a means of staying fit, but also an essential step in priming her body for optimal performance. The second 20 minutes, reflect. The second 20 minutes of the 20/20/20 formula is dedicated to reflection. This time is set aside for personal introspection, mindfulness, and mental clarity. The billionaire explains that the best way to prepare mentally for the day is to take a step back and reflect on one's goals, priorities, and emotional state. The protagonist practices mindfulness techniques, including meditation, journaling, and gratitude exercises. She writes down her thoughts, reflecting on her vision for the day, her long-term goals, and her emotional state. Through this process, she gains a sense of clarity and focus, which helps her to move forward with intention. By incorporating reflection into her morning routine, the protagonist begins to notice significant improvements in her mental state. She feels more centered, less anxious, and more connected to her purpose. The 20-minute reflection period allows her to quiet the noise of everyday distractions and tune into her true intentions for the day. The billionaire also teaches the protagonist about the importance of gratitude in this segment. Gratitude helps to shift one's perspective, focusing on what is going well in life rather than on what is lacking. The protagonist learns to acknowledge the positive aspects of her life, which gives her a greater sense of joy and appreciation as she begins her day. The third 20 minutes, grow. The final 20 minutes of the 20/20/20 formula is dedicated to personal growth. The billionaire explains that this segment is meant to engage the mind, foster learning, and develop new skills. The protagonist is encouraged to spend these 20 minutes reading, listening to educational podcasts, or working on a personal development activity that aligns with her goals. The protagonist, eager to grow and evolve, picks up a book on personal development, learning about the importance of continuous learning and the power of self-education. She realizes that growth is not just about professional achievements, but also about developing new perspectives, expanding knowledge, and enhancing her capacity for creativity and innovation. By focusing on growth every morning, the protagonist starts to accumulate small but powerful improvements that compound over time. She recognizes that even just 20 minutes of focused learning each day can make a significant difference in her long-term success. The growth section of the 20/20/20 formula becomes a catalyst for her personal and professional transformation. As the protagonist completes each segment of the 20/20/20 formula, she feels a deep sense of accomplishment. The victory hour, which once felt like a daunting task, now feels like a precious opportunity to invest in herself. She understands that these first 60 minutes set the tone for the rest of her day, and she begins to see the tangible benefits of this routine in her daily life. The chapter also highlights the importance of consistency. The billionaire teaches that success is not about occasional bursts of effort, but about making small, disciplined choices each day. The protagonist learns that the more consistently she follows the 20/20/20 formula, the more profound and lasting the results will be. Each day, she is building a foundation of health, clarity, and personal growth that will serve her for years to come. Through this process, the protagonist develops a deeper sense of self-discipline and focus. She becomes more proactive in her daily life, taking control of her time and energy. As she continues to follow the formula, she experiences a newfound sense of peace and confidence, knowing that she is using her mornings wisely to build the life she desires. The chapter concludes with the protagonist reflecting on her progress and how far she has come since adopting the 5 a.m. habit. She feels more in control of her life, more aligned with her goals, and more energized than ever before. She begins to understand that the 5 a.m. club is not just about waking up early, it's about waking up to a life of purpose, discipline, and personal growth. As she prepares to face the rest of the day, she is filled with anticipation for the endless possibilities that await her. Chapter 8, The 5 a.m. Club's Transformation. In Chapter 8 of the 5 a.m. Club, the protagonist's journey continues, and her transformation deepens as she fully adopts the 5 a.m. habit. This chapter delves into how embracing the principles of early rising and the accompanying routines leads to profound personal changes. As the protagonist starts to implement the teachings of the billionaire mentor, the audience is introduced to new layers of the philosophy that unlock the true power of waking up at 5 a.m. The chapter opens with a focus on the protagonist's internal transformation. Initially skeptical about the possibility of a meaningful shift in her life, she has now begun to experience the first signs of change. She feels more energized, productive, and positive than she did before adopting the 5 a.m. routine. However, this chapter emphasizes that true transformation is not only about seeing immediate results, but about building sustainable habits that will continue to reap benefits over time. The protagonist, now more comfortable in her new routine, is eager to learn more about the deeper philosophies behind the 5 a.m. habit. The billionaire explains that the power of the 5 a.m. club lies in its ability to align an individual's actions with their highest potential. He teaches that the earlier hours of the morning are not just for productivity, but for personal growth, clarity, and self-discovery. The magic of the morning hour. The central focus of this chapter is on how the early morning hours, before the world wakes up, hold immense potential for transformation. The billionaire stresses that this time, free from distractions and outside pressures, offers an opportunity for individuals to connect with their highest purpose. This quiet time, when used purposefully, is key to achieving greatness in any area of life. The protagonist begins to understand that the first hour of the day, the victory hour, is sacred. It's a time to step away from external expectations and focus entirely on personal growth. This is a time to nurture the body, mind, and soul, through exercise, reflection, and growth. By doing so, individuals can harness the power of the morning to set the tone for their entire day. The billionaire explains that the concept of the magic of the morning hour is about more than just the 20/20/20 formula. It's about creating a mindset that understands the value of this time. The protagonist learns that this sacred hour holds the keys to creativity, peace, and innovation. By starting the day with intention, individuals can overcome procrastination, build momentum, and achieve greater success in their personal and professional lives. The 90-minute morning routine. The chapter introduces the concept of the 90-minute morning routine, a more advanced framework that builds on the principles of the 20/20/20 formula. The protagonist learns that by extending the focus on morning growth to a 90-minute period, individuals can create even more significant changes in their lives. While the 20-minute segments are transformative, dedicating a longer time to each of the areas of physical, mental, and emotional development allows for deeper work and greater results. The billionaire emphasizes that the 90-minute morning routine is not just for those with extra time, it's for those who are committed to excellence and achieving long-term success. By allocating 90 minutes each morning, people can take control of their health, mind, and emotions on a profound level, leading to a more successful, purposeful life. The protagonist is encouraged to break down her morning routine into extended blocks of exercise, reflection, and growth, allowing her to dive deeper into each area and accelerate her progress. Mindset mastery and the daily habit. One of the most important lessons in Chapter 8 is the concept of mindset mastery. The billionaire explains that in order to achieve true transformation, individuals must cultivate the mindset of a champion. He shares that the key to this is developing daily habits that are aligned with one's highest aspirations. These habits are not about perfection, but about consistency. The protagonist learns that mindset mastery involves adopting a growth-oriented perspective. This means viewing challenges as opportunities, staying open to feedback, and embracing discomfort as a part of the learning process. The billionaire teaches that the key to mindset mastery is not avoiding struggle, but learning to navigate it with resilience and optimism. The protagonist begins to realize that the habits she develops each morning are not just routine, they are stepping stones toward becoming the person she wants to be. She starts to internalize the idea that her actions, however small, accumulate over time to create monumental change. Each day becomes a chance to reinforce positive habits and reinforce the mindset of growth. The importance of resilience and perseverance. As the protagonist's transformation deepens, she encounters obstacles. This chapter highlights that true success doesn't come from avoiding challenges, but from the ability to overcome them. The billionaire teaches that resilience is key to long-term success, and he emphasizes that perseverance in the face of adversity is one of the most important qualities a person can cultivate. Through the protagonist's struggles, the audience is reminded that setbacks are a natural part of any journey. However, with the right mindset and a commitment to the 5 a.m. routine, individuals can build the emotional resilience necessary to push through difficult times. The protagonist learns to embrace setbacks as opportunities for growth and to stay focused on her long-term vision, even when things aren't going smoothly. The power of consistency and small wins. The concept of consistency emerges as a powerful theme in Chapter 8. The billionaire teaches that achieving greatness is not about dramatic transformations overnight, but about making small, incremental improvements each day. He explains that success is built on consistency, and that daily habits, compounded over time, lead to extraordinary results. The protagonist begins to see that small wins are the building blocks of success. By focusing on one small step at a time, she is able to sustain motivation and keep moving forward, even when the results aren't immediately visible. The chapter stresses that consistency in following the 5 a.m. routine is the key to unlocking exponential growth and success. The impact of the 5 a.m. club on life's success. The chapter concludes by reflecting on the profound impact that the 5 a.m. club can have on a person's life. The protagonist begins to see how her commitment to waking up early, following the victory hour, and embracing the principles of the 5 a.m. Club has transformed her in ways she never anticipated. She feels more energized, focused, and clear about her goals. The power of the morning routine, combined with the deeper philosophy of mindset mastery, has sparked an internal transformation that will continue to evolve over time. The billionaire reiterates that the 5 a.m. habit is not just a tool for success, it is a philosophy that encompasses every aspect of life. By mastering the morning, individuals unlock the ability to master their lives. This realization begins to cement the protagonist's commitment to the practice, and she is filled with excitement for the endless possibilities that await her. Chapter 9: The Life-Changing Benefits of the 5 a.m. Club. In Chapter 9 of the 5 a.m. Club, the protagonist dives deeper into the life-changing benefits of the 5 a.m. habit and uncovers the transformative power of consistent early rising. This chapter emphasizes how waking up at 5 a.m. and following the victory hour routine doesn't just improve productivity, it can completely rewire one's mind and life for the better. The billionaire, who serves as the protagonist's guide and mentor, reveals how mastering the morning is a gateway to mastering life itself. The power of the morning routine. The chapter opens with the protagonist reflecting on her progress. She has been faithfully following the 5 a.m. routine for a while now, and the effects are starting to become noticeable. As she reflects on her personal growth, she realizes how much more energy she has, how much clearer her mind feels, and how much more effective she is in her personal and professional life. The daily ritual of waking up early, moving, reflecting, and growing has begun to create a ripple effect in her life, one that is producing tangible results. The billionaire explains that the morning is a powerful time for setting the tone of the day. The protagonist learns that what people do first thing in the morning has a profound effect on their mindset, energy, and focus throughout the rest of the day. Those who rise early and dedicate time to nourishing their body, mind, and soul will experience a higher level of success and fulfillment. The message is clear: the key to creating a life of meaning and purpose begins with a strong foundation, and that foundation is laid every morning. The 4 Interior Empires. A crucial insight introduced in this chapter is the concept of the 4 interior empires. The billionaire explains that to truly excel in life, one must focus on 4 areas of personal development. Mindset. The first empire is the mind. A person's mindset determines how they perceive challenges, opportunities, and their own potential. Through daily practices like reflection and learning, individuals can cultivate a growth mindset that empowers them to achieve their goals. Heart set. The second empire is the heart. This refers to emotional well-being and how individuals manage their feelings. The protagonist learns that taking care of one's emotional health is just as important as physical health. Practices like gratitude, empathy, and self-compassion help to build a resilient heart, which is essential for facing life's obstacles with grace. Health set. The third empire is health. A person's physical well-being directly affects their ability to perform and create in the world. The protagonist embraces the importance of exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest to maintain a healthy body that fuels her ambitions. This empire is the foundation of the 5 a.m. routine's physical component, which the protagonist has already started incorporating through exercise in the victory hour. Soul set. The final empire is the soul. This refers to one's deeper sense of purpose, connection to the world, and alignment with higher values. The billionaire explains that the soul is the source of true fulfillment and happiness. It's not enough to achieve external success, one must also cultivate inner peace and a sense of spiritual connection. Through activities like meditation, mindfulness, and personal reflection, the protagonist begins to connect more deeply with her soul and experience a sense of purpose beyond material success. The protagonist realizes that focusing on all 4 of these empires, mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set, is essential for creating a balanced, fulfilling life. While many people focus on just one or two areas, the key to sustainable success is cultivating all four. By doing so, individuals can live with greater purpose, resilience, and joy. The ripple effect of early rising. As the protagonist continues to follow the 5 a.m. routine, she begins to see how her new habits have a ripple effect in her life. Each morning, she builds momentum, which carries her through the rest of the day. The chapter highlights that the benefits of the 5 a.m. habit extend beyond just the individual, they also impact relationships, work, and the community around them. The protagonist experiences this firsthand as her energy, focus, and sense of purpose begin to inspire others. She notices that her colleagues and friends start to comment on her newfound positivity and productivity. Her interactions become more meaningful, her relationships deeper, and her professional accomplishments greater. The chapter reveals that the 5 a.m. habit has a transformative power that extends outward, impacting everyone around the individual who adopts it. The power of personal mastery. One of the core themes of this chapter is personal mastery. The billionaire emphasizes that the most successful people in the world are those who have mastered themselves. This means cultivating discipline, focus, and consistency in every area of life. The protagonist realizes that mastery is not about achieving perfection, rather, it's about making small, consistent improvements every day. The billionaire also teaches that personal mastery is about aligning one's actions with their highest values and goals. It's about living with integrity and staying true to what matters most. The protagonist's journey becomes not just about waking up early, but about becoming the best version of herself through consistent practice, reflection, and growth. The role of focus in achieving extraordinary results. Chapter 9 delves into the concept of focus, teaching the protagonist that one of the most powerful tools for achieving success is the ability to concentrate deeply on what truly matters. The billionaire explains that most people are distracted by the noise of modern life, constantly shifting their attention from one thing to another. In contrast, those who master their focus can achieve extraordinary results in less time. The protagonist learns that the ability to focus is a skill that must be developed. The 5 a.m. routine, with its emphasis on reflection and goal setting, provides the perfect opportunity to train the mind to concentrate on what matters. By eliminating distractions and dedicating time each morning to work on her most important goals, the protagonist begins to experience a surge in productivity and creativity. She realizes that by focusing her energy in the right direction, she can accomplish far more than she ever thought possible. Creating a legacy. Towards the end of the chapter, the protagonist comes to an important realization: her transformation is not just about achieving personal success, but about creating a legacy. The billionaire teaches that true fulfillment comes from making a meaningful impact on the world and leaving a positive mark for future generations. The 5 a.m. habit, when practiced consistently, allows individuals to live with intention and purpose, ultimately leading them to create a legacy that reflects their values and passions. The protagonist begins to understand that her actions, no matter how small, have the power to inspire others and create lasting change. By embracing the principles of the 5 a.m. club and focusing on personal mastery, she starts to see her potential to create a life that not only benefits herself but also those around her. Chapter 10: The Secret to Maintaining the 5 a.m. Habit. In Chapter 10 of the 5 a.m. Club, the protagonist delves deeper into the crucial steps required to not only adopt the 5 a.m. habit but to maintain it consistently over time. This chapter explores the science behind habit formation, the challenges individuals face when trying to change their routines, and the strategies that can help ensure long-term success in sticking with the early morning ritual. The power of consistency. One of the key takeaways from this chapter is the importance of consistency. The protagonist, now fully immersed in the 5 a.m. routine, begins to appreciate the power of showing up every day, even when it feels difficult. The billionaire, who continues to mentor her, explains that the real secret to success lies in the ability to be consistent, especially in the face of challenges. The 5 a.m. habit, like any worthwhile endeavor, requires time and dedication. He emphasizes that consistency builds momentum, which ultimately leads to a transformative life. The billionaire illustrates that habits, particularly those related to self-discipline and personal growth, thrive on consistency. The protagonist is reminded that success in any area of life is not achieved through occasional bursts of effort but through steady, consistent actions that compound over time. By showing up every morning at 5 a.m., even when it's hard, she strengthens her commitment and builds the foundation for lasting change. Overcoming resistance and the importance of willpower. As the protagonist's journey continues, she encounters resistance, those early mornings when the bed feels too comfortable, when doubts creep in, or when life's distractions make the 5 a.m. commitment seem less important. Chapter 10 is dedicated to understanding this resistance and how to push through it. The billionaire shares that resistance is a natural part of growth. Whenever someone attempts to make a positive change, especially one as significant as waking up early, resistance will appear. It is an inevitable part of the transformation process. The key to overcoming this resistance is willpower. The billionaire explains that willpower is like a muscle that can be trained over time. The more an individual exercises their willpower by sticking to the 5 a.m. routine, the stronger it becomes. He encourages the protagonist to understand that each time she successfully gets out of bed at 5 a.m., even on the toughest mornings, she is strengthening her inner resolve. It is this willpower that becomes the driving force behind her transformation. The power of a morning routine, mindset and energy. Chapter 10 also delves deeper into why the morning routine is so critical for personal growth. The protagonist learns that the first few hours of the day set the tone for everything that follows. The 5 a.m. habit isn't just about waking up early, it's about consciously shaping the mind, body, and spirit to operate at peak performance. This chapter stresses that the early morning hours are sacred for personal development because they allow individuals to cultivate their mindset and energy in a focused, undistracted environment. The billionaire explains that the early morning hours are a time for individuals to invest in themselves. By using this time wisely, through activities like exercise, meditation, journaling, and learning, individuals can recharge their energy and fuel their growth. The protagonist begins to understand that the 5 a.m. habit allows her to set the tone for the rest of the day, ensuring she approaches every challenge with clarity, purpose, and resilience. The 5 a.m. Club and the Victory Hour. The concept of the Victory Hour is reinforced in this chapter. The protagonist is reminded that the hour from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. is her sacred time to focus on her growth and well-being. The Victory Hour is divided into 3 parts. 20 minutes of intense exercise to get the body moving, 20 minutes of reflection or journaling to nurture the mind, and 20 minutes of learning or growth to expand the intellect. This structure is designed to optimize every aspect of the individual's being, body, mind, and soul. The protagonist begins to see that the Victory Hour is not just a random collection of activities, it is a holistic system for personal growth. The focus is not on rushing through tasks, but on ensuring that each activity serves a larger purpose in shaping her future. By dedicating these precious 60 minutes each morning to personal development, the protagonist feels her energy and motivation surging. It's clear to her that the secret to long-term success is consistency in this ritual. The role of accountability and support. Throughout Chapter 10, the importance of accountability and support is highlighted. The protagonist, now fully embracing the 5 a.m. habit, realizes that having someone to hold her accountable has made all the difference. While the billionaire has served as her mentor, she understands that having a support system, whether a coach, a friend, or a community, can help reinforce her commitment to the routine. The billionaire explains that while self-discipline is crucial, external accountability also plays a significant role in maintaining new habits. The protagonist is encouraged to share her goals with others and seek support from those who are also committed to personal growth. This collective energy helps sustain motivation, especially during moments when resistance feels overwhelming. The idea of being part of a community that shares similar aspirations creates a sense of belonging and encourages perseverance. The importance of reflection and adaptation. As the protagonist progresses in her 5 a.m. journey, she learns that reflection is essential for growth. Chapter 10 stresses the significance of regularly assessing one's progress and adapting to new challenges. The 5 a.m. habit isn't about rigidly following a set of rules, it's about continuously improving and adapting. The protagonist begins to track her progress, reflect on her setbacks, and celebrate her wins. This practice allows her to course-correct when needed and to maintain her focus on long-term goals. The billionaire teaches that adaptation is key to sustaining any habit. Just as the world around us changes, our personal needs and circumstances will evolve as well. Being able to adjust the morning routine to fit these changes ensures that the habit remains relevant and effective. For the protagonist, this insight is a game changer, as she realizes that the 5 a.m. habit is not a static practice, but a dynamic system that can be shaped to meet her needs at different points in her life. The 66-day rule. Building a habit. A pivotal moment in Chapter 10 comes with the introduction of the 66-day rule. The billionaire explains that it takes, on average, 66 days to solidify a new habit. This period of time is critical for rewiring the brain and ingraining the habit into daily life. The protagonist learns that while the early days of the 5 a.m. habit might feel difficult, perseverance will pay off in the long run. After 66 days, the routine will feel natural, and the benefits will become undeniable. This idea of the 66-day rule encourages the protagonist to stay committed, even when things feel tough. She realizes that the first few weeks are often the hardest, but with each passing day, the routine becomes more ingrained, and the benefits of waking up early begin to multiply. The protagonist is motivated by the understanding that her perseverance will eventually lead to a new way of life, one that is marked by peace, productivity, and growth. Creating lasting change. Chapter 10 concludes by emphasizing that the 5 a.m. habit is not just a temporary fix for productivity, it's a way of life. The protagonist realizes that her journey is about creating lasting change, not just achieving short-term results. The morning routine has become a foundational practice that supports her growth in all areas of life, and it is clear that this commitment will continue to shape her future in profound ways. Through her dedication to the 5 a.m. habit, the protagonist gains clarity, peace, and a renewed sense of purpose. She understands that every day is an opportunity to move closer to her highest potential, and she is determined to maintain the 5 a.m. routine for years to come. Chapter 11, The Superhuman Advantage of the 5 a.m. Club. Chapter 11 of the 5 a.m. Club takes a deep dive into the powerful, often life-changing benefits that emerge from consistently following the 5 a.m. routine. In this chapter, the protagonist begins to see the extraordinary effects of rising early, how it empowers individuals to unlock their fullest potential and perform at superhuman levels. This chapter not only highlights the personal rewards of waking up early but also emphasizes how this habit can transform an individual's overall quality of life. Unlocking the superhuman state. The central theme of Chapter 11 is the concept of unlocking a superhuman state of being by embracing the 5 a.m. habit. The protagonist, now deeply embedded in the routine, begins to experience the tangible benefits of waking up early. At the start of the chapter, the billionaire, who continues to serve as a guide and mentor, describes the brain's incredible potential and how this potential can be harnessed through focused effort, discipline, and the morning hours. Through a combination of insights and scientific research, the billionaire reveals that waking up early has a profound impact on the brain's cognitive functions. The protagonist learns that by practicing the 5 a.m. habit, individuals tap into their brain's highest potential for creativity, focus, and clarity. The morning hours are when the brain is at its sharpest, and this sharpness leads to greater decision-making abilities, enhanced problem-solving, and deeper insights. The billionaire explains that the superhuman state isn't something reserved for a select few individuals, it's accessible to anyone who commits to the daily habit of rising early and dedicating time to their personal development. The protagonist begins to feel the power of this new state as she experiences increased mental clarity, heightened energy, and improved emotional stability. The role of the victory hour. The victory hour, as outlined earlier in the book, becomes even more important in Chapter 11. The protagonist has now fully embraced this sacred hour, which is divided into 3 20-minute segments, 20 minutes of intense exercise, 20 minutes of reflection or journaling, and 20 minutes of learning. These activities are not just random tasks, they are designed to nurture the body, mind, and soul, creating a holistic approach to personal growth. The exercise component of the victory hour is highlighted as a key factor in unlocking mental and physical strength. The protagonist learns that exercise releases powerful neurochemicals, such as dopamine and serotonin, which enhance mood, reduce stress, and improve overall brain function. The physical activity also boosts blood circulation, delivering oxygen and nutrients to the brain, which further enhances cognitive abilities. The protagonist begins to see how these early morning workouts set a positive tone for the rest of the day, leading to increased vitality, focus, and creativity. The reflection and journaling aspect of the victory hour provides the protagonist with time to process her thoughts, reflect on her goals, and realign her mindset. The billionaire emphasizes that this practice allows individuals to cultivate emotional intelligence, deepen their self-awareness, and gain clarity on their true desires. By reflecting on her progress and intentions, the protagonist finds herself more centered and focused, ready to tackle any challenges the day may bring. The final 20 minutes of learning offer the protagonist the opportunity to expand her mind and sharpen her intellect. The billionaire encourages her to read, listen to podcasts, or engage in any activity that fosters continuous learning. This segment of the victory hour reinforces the idea that personal development is an ongoing process, one that requires commitment to lifelong learning. The connection between early rising and success. As Chapter 11 unfolds, the protagonist begins to realize that waking up early is a direct pathway to success. The billionaire reveals that many of the world's most successful individuals attribute their achievements to the habit of rising early. He provides examples of high achievers who have used the early hours to cultivate their minds, plan their days, and work on their personal growth. The protagonist learns that this habit is not a mere suggestion, it is a key ingredient in the recipe for success. The billionaire explains that rising at 5 a.m. is a practice that allows individuals to take control of their day, their emotions, and their goals. By using the morning hours to invest in their health, mindset, and learning, individuals set themselves up for a successful and fulfilling day. The protagonist begins to see that the 5 a.m. habit is not just about improving productivity, it's about taking charge of one's life and creating a foundation for long-term success and happiness. The science behind the 5 a.m. habit. In Chapter 11, the science behind the 5 a.m. habit is explored in greater depth. The billionaire shares research showing how the brain's neuroplasticity, the ability to change and adapt, can be maximized by forming positive habits like waking up early. By consistently following the 5 a.m. routine, individuals literally rewire their brains, strengthening the neural pathways that lead to success and personal growth. The protagonist learns that waking up early activates the brain's prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making, goal-setting, and higher-level thinking. This activation leads to increased mental clarity, improved problem-solving abilities, and enhanced focus. The billionaire also highlights how the early morning hours help individuals avoid distractions and focus on their most important tasks, making it easier to accomplish more with less effort. The chapter also touches on the hormonal benefits of waking up early. The protagonist learns that when individuals wake up at 5 a.m., their bodies are in a state of heightened alertness due to the natural circadian rhythm. This state of heightened alertness helps to boost energy levels, focus, and motivation, making the early morning hours the ideal time for tackling the most important tasks of the day. Building momentum through the 5 a.m. habit. A significant lesson in Chapter 11 is the concept of building momentum. The protagonist learns that the 5 a.m. habit is a powerful tool for creating a ripple effect of success throughout the day. By dedicating the first hour of the day to self-improvement and growth, individuals can generate a surge of energy and positivity that carries them through the rest of the day. This momentum becomes a key driver of productivity and achievement, allowing individuals to accomplish more than they ever thought possible. The billionaire emphasizes that the 5 a.m. habit is not just about waking up early, it's about setting the tone for the rest of the day. The more consistently an individual follows the routine, the more momentum they build. This momentum creates a cycle of success, where each day builds upon the previous one, leading to exponential growth and achievement over time. The protagonist begins to understand that the early morning hours are a time to generate energy, focus, and clarity, qualities that are essential for success. By following the victory hour and engaging in practices that enhance personal development, she begins to see how these small, daily actions accumulate and lead to lasting success. The emotional and spiritual benefits of early rising. While the physical and mental benefits of waking up early are clear, Chapter 11 also explores the emotional and spiritual rewards of the 5 a.m. habit. The protagonist learns that the early morning routine helps to cultivate emotional resilience, gratitude, and a sense of inner peace. Through reflection, journaling, and mindfulness practices, individuals can center themselves and develop a deeper connection with their inner selves. The billionaire shares that the 5 a.m. habit is not just about external achievements, it's also about internal fulfillment. The emotional and spiritual benefits of early rising help individuals stay grounded, connected to their purpose, and aligned with their values. The protagonist begins to feel a deeper sense of peace and contentment as she commits to the 5 a.m. routine, realizing that it's not just about achieving more, it's about becoming more. Conclusion: the path to unstoppable success. As Chapter 11 concludes, the protagonist reflects on her journey and the profound changes she has experienced since joining the 5 a.m. club. She understands that the 5 a.m. habit is not just about waking up early, it's about unlocking a superhuman state of mind and body that allows individuals to achieve extraordinary things. By committing to the 5 a.m. routine, she has discovered a pathway to success, personal growth, and lasting fulfillment. The billionaire's final message to the protagonist is clear: waking up early is the key to becoming the best version of oneself. It's a practice that leads to greater productivity, creativity, and emotional resilience. The protagonist is now fully aware that the 5 a.m. habit is not just a short-term fix, it's a lifelong commitment to personal excellence and unstoppable success. Chapter 12: The Legacy of the 5 a.m. Club. In Chapter 12 of the 5 a.m. Club, the protagonist's journey toward self-mastery and extraordinary achievement comes full circle. This chapter marks a pivotal point in the story, where the protagonist, now fully immersed in the 5 a.m. routine, begins to understand the far-reaching impact of her new habits, not just on her personal life but on her ability to leave a lasting legacy. Through a deeper understanding of the 5 a.m. philosophy, the protagonist realizes how her newfound discipline, growth, and clarity can shape her future and influence the lives of others. Building a legacy through consistent growth. The main theme of Chapter 12 revolves around the idea of legacy, the mark individuals leave on the world through their actions, values, and contributions. The protagonist has grown significantly since adopting the 5 a.m. habit, and now, under the guidance of the billionaire, she begins to reflect on the power of consistency in creating a legacy. The billionaire encourages her to think beyond daily accomplishments and consider the long-term impact of her decisions, behaviors, and habits. The protagonist, who had once struggled with time management and direction, is now able to see how the small, consistent actions taken each day compound into a larger, meaningful legacy. She realizes that, just like the 5 a.m. habit itself, a person's legacy is built slowly over time, through repeated positive behaviors and a commitment to personal growth. Each decision made in alignment with one's values becomes a building block that eventually contributes to a greater life story. The billionaire reminds her that it's not the grand gestures but the consistent, everyday efforts that lead to creating an extraordinary life and a lasting legacy. The power of contribution. As the protagonist continues to integrate the 5 a.m. habit into her life, she begins to feel a shift in her priorities. It is no longer just about personal success and achievement, it is about how her actions can contribute to the betterment of others. The 5 a.m. Club is not only a vehicle for individual growth but also a means of positively impacting the world around her. The billionaire teaches her that true legacy comes from how much one contributes to others' lives and how one's work and energy inspire others to live at their best. In this chapter, the protagonist starts reflecting on the people she wants to help, the causes she wishes to support, and the ways she can use her talents to elevate others. The 5 a.m. habit provides her with the clarity and energy to act on these desires. She realizes that the time spent during the victory hour each morning is not just for her, it's a crucial time for reflection on her greater purpose. By committing to her personal growth, she can also unlock the potential to help others, becoming a force of positive change. The billionaire reinforces that creating a legacy through contribution isn't just about professional success or accumulating wealth, it's about making a meaningful difference. True fulfillment comes from being able to lift others up and inspire them to achieve greatness. The protagonist, having gone through a transformation of self-awareness, now envisions a life where she not only achieves her own goals but helps others reach theirs. The ripple effect of the 5 a.m. habit. One of the most powerful insights in Chapter 12 is the concept of the ripple effect of the 5 a.m. habit. The protagonist begins to realize that her commitment to personal growth has far-reaching effects on everyone around her. By waking up early, dedicating time to exercise, reflection, and learning, and staying focused on her personal development, she sets an example for others to follow. The people in her life begin to notice her transformation and are inspired to adopt similar habits in their own lives. The billionaire explains that the energy and mindset cultivated during the 5 a.m. habit create an unstoppable force that impacts every interaction and relationship. The protagonist starts to see how her daily discipline spreads beyond her personal sphere, encouraging others to take control of their own habits and lives. This, in turn, creates a ripple effect, where the positive changes she has made begin to inspire her family, friends, and even colleagues. The 5 a.m. habit is not just about self-improvement, it's a way to spark positive change in the world. Mastery and purpose. In this chapter, the protagonist also learns that a legacy is not something one leaves behind at the end of life, it is something that is continuously being built as long as one is living. The pursuit of mastery in all areas of life, through the consistent application of the 5 a.m. philosophy, ensures that an individual's legacy is ever growing and evolving. The protagonist sees how dedication to self-mastery brings greater purpose and meaning to her life, as she starts to connect her daily actions to a larger vision of who she wants to become. The billionaire emphasizes that true success is not defined by what an individual accumulates but by the impact they have on others and the mastery they achieve within themselves. The protagonist, having dedicated herself to the 5 a.m. habit, now understands that her journey is about becoming her best self, so she can contribute her best to the world. Mastery, in this sense, is not a final destination but an ongoing process of self-improvement and contribution to the greater good. Living with intentionality. As Chapter 12 progresses, the protagonist learns that the secret to living a meaningful life lies in intentionality. The 5 a.m. habit has provided her with a framework for living with clarity and purpose. She realizes that every action she takes, whether small or large, has a ripple effect on her personal development and the legacy she is creating. The billionaire stresses that living intentionally means being fully present in each moment, making decisions that align with one's highest values, and remaining true to one's vision of the future. The protagonist begins to embrace this idea of intentional living. She starts making more conscious decisions about where to focus her energy and time. By waking up at 5 a.m., she gives herself the time and space to reflect on her priorities and chart a course for the day ahead. This practice of intentionality allows her to be more deliberate about how she spends her time, how she interacts with others, and how she contributes to her goals. Legacy in action, the protagonist's vision. Toward the end of Chapter 12, the protagonist begins to see the full picture of her transformation. She no longer views her life in terms of individual accomplishments or short-term successes, she sees her life as an ongoing project of personal development and contribution. The 5 a.m. habit has allowed her to tap into her fullest potential, and now, she is ready to pass on the torch. She understands that her legacy will be built through the positive energy she spreads, the wisdom she shares, and the difference she makes in the lives of others. The protagonist envisions herself as a guide for others, helping them unlock their own potential and empowering them to live their best lives. She understands that a legacy is not just about what one achieves for themselves, it is about how one inspires others to live intentionally and purposefully. By embracing the 5 a.m. routine and committing to personal mastery, she is ready to share her knowledge, experience, and insights with others who are seeking to transform their lives. Chapter 13, The Ultimate Guide to Living Your Legacy. In Chapter 13 of the 5 a.m. Club, the story of the protagonist's journey reaches a climax, where the lessons she has learned about discipline, focus, and personal growth come together to create a profound shift in her life. This chapter emphasizes the importance of living a legacy that transcends personal achievement and speaks to the greater impact one can have on the world. As the protagonist reflects on her journey, she discovers how the 5 a.m. habit has not only transformed her but also has the power to inspire those around her. The power of consistent action. The core of Chapter 13 revolves around the idea that success and fulfillment come not from sporadic bursts of effort, but from consistent, small actions taken over time. The protagonist realizes that her journey to mastering the 5 a.m. habit, and consequently, transforming her life, has been a process of steady, deliberate improvement. Every morning, as she rises at 5 a.m. and follows the Victory Hour routine, she is laying the foundation for long-term success. The billionaire, who continues to be her mentor, explains that consistency is the key to mastering anything in life. The protagonist comes to understand that each action, no matter how small, compounds to create a larger impact. Through the 5 a.m. habit, she has learned to show up for herself every day, no matter the challenges, and this commitment has brought her closer to her highest potential. This section of the chapter underscores the importance of building habits that support one's larger goals. The protagonist begins to see how her daily efforts, even when they seem insignificant at the time, are shaping her future. The consistent practice of waking up early, exercising, journaling, and learning, combined with her deepening self-awareness, leads her to a life of purpose and fulfillment. Shaping your future with the 5 a.m. habit. As Chapter 13 unfolds, the protagonist gains a deeper understanding of how the 5 a.m. habit shapes her future. It is no longer about the immediate benefits of waking up early, such as increased energy, focus, and creativity, but about the long-term transformation that takes place over time. She begins to see the 5 a.m. habit as a tool for creating a life that aligns with her highest values and aspirations. The billionaire challenges her to think beyond daily tasks and to focus on the bigger picture. What kind of life does she want to create, and what kind of legacy does she want to leave behind? By committing to the 5 a.m. habit, the protagonist now has the clarity and energy to work toward her ultimate goals. She no longer feels overwhelmed by the demands of daily life because she has learned how to prioritize what truly matters. The victory hour allows her to align her actions with her deeper purpose, setting the stage for long-term success. In this chapter, the protagonist discovers that by mastering her mornings, she is able to master her life. The early hours of the day are now sacred to her. They are her time to set intentions, plan her day, and take inspired action toward her long-term vision. The protagonist is no longer reacting to life's demands, she is intentionally creating the future she desires. The ripple effect of leadership and legacy. A significant theme in Chapter 13 is the impact that personal growth and discipline can have on others. The protagonist, who has embraced the 5 a.m. habit, begins to notice how her transformation is affecting those around her. Her family, friends, and colleagues start to see her commitment to self-improvement and are inspired to take action in their own lives. The billionaire teaches the protagonist that leadership is not about holding power over others, it's about leading by example. When one person commits to growth, others are naturally drawn to follow suit. The protagonist realizes that by living her best life, she is becoming a beacon of inspiration for others. This ripple effect is the true power of the 5 a.m. habit. It's not just about individual success, it's about creating a culture of excellence, where others are motivated to become the best versions of themselves. The chapter emphasizes that a legacy is built not just by what one achieves alone, but by how one influences others to pursue greatness. The protagonist now understands that leadership is about empowering others to reach their fullest potential. She is no longer focused solely on her own success, she is deeply invested in helping others succeed as well. The intersection of purpose and legacy. As Chapter 13 nears its conclusion, the protagonist is guided to reflect on her deeper purpose. What is the driving force behind her actions? What does she want to be remembered for? The billionaire encourages her to explore the intersection of purpose and legacy, to think about how her unique talents and passions can contribute to the world in a meaningful way. The protagonist's personal development through the 5 a.m. habit has helped her discover her true purpose. She now understands that a legacy is not something one leaves behind after they are gone, it is something they create while they are alive, through their actions, their impact, and the lives they touch. By waking up early, focusing on her growth, and leading by example, she is creating a lasting legacy that will continue to inspire others for years to come. Through the 5 a.m. routine, the protagonist has also gained a greater sense of clarity around her purpose. She has realized that she doesn't have to be perfect or achieve everything at once. Instead, it's about taking small, consistent steps toward a larger vision. The 5 a.m. habit has given her the space and energy to clarify her purpose, set meaningful goals, and take action that is aligned with her deepest values. Embracing the power of now. A key insight in Chapter 13 is the concept of embracing the power of now. The protagonist learns that living a fulfilling life and leaving a lasting legacy requires the ability to be present in each moment. The billionaire teaches her that while planning for the future is important, it is the actions taken in the present that ultimately shape one's legacy. The 5 a.m. habit has given the protagonist the ability to be present in the moment, to fully engage with her goals, and to take inspired action. She realizes that the more she focuses on the present, the more she is able to create the future she desires. The power of now, combined with the clarity gained through the 5 a.m. habit, allows her to move forward with confidence and purpose. Living with intention and mindfulness. As the chapter draws to a close, the protagonist embraces the idea that living with intention and mindfulness is key to building a meaningful legacy. Through the practices of exercise, journaling, and learning during the victory hour, she has cultivated a deep sense of awareness and focus. The 5 a.m. habit has helped her develop the mental and emotional resilience needed to live with intention, make decisions that align with her purpose, and stay grounded in her values. Living with intention means taking responsibility for one's actions and decisions. The protagonist has learned that it's not enough to simply wish for success or to hope for a better future. True transformation comes from daily, intentional actions that are in alignment with one's deepest desires. The 5 a.m. habit has empowered her to live each day with purpose, focus, and a commitment to growth. Conclusion: creating a legacy of excellence. Chapter 13 concludes with the protagonist reflecting on her journey and the profound changes she has experienced. She has transformed from someone who was overwhelmed and uncertain to a person who is clear, focused, and empowered to create a lasting legacy. The 5 a.m. habit has given her the tools to lead a life of excellence, and now, she is ready to share this knowledge with others. The billionaire's final words are a reminder that the 5 a.m. habit is not just about achieving more, it's about becoming more. By waking up early and committing to personal growth, individuals can create a legacy of excellence, influence, and positive change. The protagonist is now fully aware that her journey has just begun, and she is excited to continue living with purpose, inspiring others along the way. Chapter 14: The Deepest Wisdom, the 5 a.m. Club and the Art of Personal Mastery. In Chapter 14 of the 5 a.m. Club, the protagonist's journey toward mastery deepens further as she comes to understand the true essence of personal growth and transformation. This chapter is an important step in her evolution as she learns that the 5 a.m. habit is not just about waking up early but about dedicating herself to the mastery of her life. Through the wisdom shared by the billionaire, she uncovers how the key to greatness lies in mastering one's mind, body, and emotions, and how this can be achieved through the commitment to the 5 a.m. routine. The path to personal mastery. The central theme of Chapter 14 revolves around personal mastery. The protagonist has already experienced many benefits from the 5 a.m. habit, but in this chapter, she begins to understand that true greatness comes from mastering oneself, not just one's circumstances. Personal mastery requires discipline, focus, and the willingness to push past one's comfort zone. The billionaire teaches her that in order to become an extraordinary individual, she must learn to control not only her actions but also her thoughts and emotions. The billionaire describes personal mastery as the process of cultivating an inner sense of power and control. This mastery involves becoming highly disciplined in managing one's time, energy, and attention. Through the 5 a.m. routine, the protagonist learns how to develop these vital qualities. She begins to see that the quiet moments of the morning, the victory hour, are not just about starting the day, they are about cultivating an inner foundation that will support her success and well-being throughout the day. The protagonist realizes that personal mastery is an ongoing journey. It is not something that is achieved overnight but rather something that is honed through consistent practice and a commitment to growth. Every day, through the 5 a.m. habit, she is strengthening her ability to control her thoughts, emotions, and reactions. This leads to a greater sense of clarity and focus, allowing her to make better decisions and take actions that are aligned with her ultimate vision for her life. The power of the victory hour. In Chapter 14, the victory hour continues to play a central role in the protagonist's transformation. The billionaire emphasizes that the first hour of the day, when the world is still, is one of the most powerful times for self-development. The protagonist learns how to structure this hour effectively by focusing on 3 key areas: exercise, reflection, and learning. The first part of the victory hour, exercise, is about waking up the body and preparing it for the challenges of the day. The protagonist learns that physical activity in the morning boosts energy levels, improves mood, and helps her develop the discipline needed to succeed in all areas of life. Through exercise, she not only strengthens her body but also conditions her mind to perform at its highest level. Next comes reflection. The protagonist learns that the time spent in quiet reflection in the morning is essential for creating clarity and focus. She begins to incorporate journaling into her routine, using this time to clarify her goals, express gratitude, and reflect on the progress she has made. The billionaire teaches her that reflection is an important tool for cultivating self-awareness, understanding one's desires, and aligning actions with purpose. It helps to remove distractions and allows the protagonist to connect with her inner self. Finally, the protagonist learns the importance of learning during the victory hour. The billionaire explains that personal mastery is achieved through continuous learning and growth. The protagonist begins to spend time reading books, listening to podcasts, and engaging in activities that expand her knowledge and skills. This constant input of new information helps her sharpen her intellect and keeps her aligned with her mission of personal and professional growth. The role of mental discipline. As the chapter unfolds, the protagonist gains a deeper understanding of mental discipline. The billionaire teaches her that in order to become truly exceptional, she must learn to control her thoughts. The mind is often filled with distractions, doubts, and fears that can hinder progress. Through the 5 a.m. habit, the protagonist begins to develop the ability to focus on the present moment and avoid the negative thought patterns that can derail her success. The billionaire emphasizes that mental discipline is about controlling the mind and directing it toward positive thoughts and actions. The protagonist learns that her thoughts have the power to shape her reality. By mastering her mind, she can overcome limiting beliefs, eliminate self-doubt, and stay focused on her goals. This new mindset gives her the mental strength needed to push through challenges and continue working toward her vision. Emotional mastery and resilience. Along with mental discipline, emotional mastery is another key component of personal mastery. The protagonist begins to understand that true success is not just about achieving external goals, it's also about cultivating emotional resilience. The billionaire teaches her that emotional mastery involves being able to manage one's emotions, especially in times of stress, adversity, or uncertainty. The protagonist learns that by mastering her emotions, she can remain calm and centered, no matter the circumstances. She begins to practice techniques for emotional regulation, such as deep breathing, mindfulness, and visualization. These practices help her stay grounded and maintain a sense of control over her reactions. As a result, she is better equipped to handle the challenges that come her way and remain focused on her long-term goals. The importance of focused energy. In Chapter 14, the protagonist also learns about the importance of focused energy. The billionaire explains that energy is one of the most valuable resources for achieving success. Without energy, even the best ideas and strategies will fall short. The protagonist realizes that in order to achieve mastery, she must learn to manage her energy effectively. This means taking care of her physical health, staying mentally sharp, and cultivating emotional balance. The 5 a.m. habit, especially the victory hour, plays a crucial role in helping the protagonist maintain high levels of energy throughout the day. By starting her day with exercise, reflection, and learning, she is able to recharge her body and mind, setting herself up for peak performance. The billionaire reminds her that it's not about working harder but about working smarter and with more energy. This focused energy allows her to maintain a high level of productivity while also staying present and balanced. Mastering the art of time management. Another key lesson in Chapter 14 is the mastery of time management. The protagonist realizes that time is a finite resource, and the way she manages it will determine her success. The billionaire teaches her how to prioritize her time, eliminate distractions, and focus on what truly matters. Through the 5 a.m. habit, she learns how to structure her day in a way that aligns with her highest priorities. The protagonist now understands that time management is not just about scheduling tasks but about creating a life that is aligned with one's values. By waking up early and starting the day with intention, she is able to set the tone for the rest of the day. She becomes more intentional about how she spends her time, focusing on activities that contribute to her growth and legacy. The power of self-belief and confidence. As Chapter 14 concludes, the protagonist's confidence continues to grow. Through the consistent practice of the 5 a.m. habit and the lessons she has learned about personal mastery, she begins to develop a deep sense of self-belief. The billionaire reminds her that confidence is not something that is given to her, it is something she builds through action. The more she practices self-discipline, mental focus, and emotional regulation, the stronger her belief in herself becomes. The protagonist realizes that personal mastery is the key to unlocking her true potential. She no longer doubts her ability to achieve her goals. She understands that mastery is a journey, not a destination, and that with each step she takes toward growth, she is becoming the best version of herself. Conclusion: living a life of mastery. In the final moments of Chapter 14, the protagonist reflects on everything she has learned. She now understands that the path to greatness is not about external achievements but about mastering herself. Through the 5 a.m. habit, she has unlocked the power of personal mastery, and she is ready to continue her journey toward excellence. By consistently focusing on her mind, body, and emotions, she is becoming the kind of person who can create a meaningful and lasting legacy. She embraces the idea that personal mastery is not a one-time event, it is a lifelong pursuit, and she is committed to living a life of excellence and growth. Chapter 15, The Symphony of Your Life. Chapter 15 of the 5 a.m. Club delves into the concept of living a life of mastery through a well-balanced approach, focusing on the importance of creating harmony between personal goals, passions, and one's daily habits. The protagonist continues to evolve in her journey toward greatness, and in this chapter, she learns how to balance hard work with inner peace, to achieve not only success but also true fulfillment. The power of a balanced life. In this chapter, the billionaire continues to serve as a mentor, teaching the protagonist that success does not come from merely achieving more or working harder. Instead, it is about creating a life of balance, where every area, mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual, is nurtured. The concept of the symphony of life is introduced, which emphasizes that success is not the result of isolated achievements but of orchestrating various aspects of life in harmony. The protagonist learns that balancing ambition with peace of mind is essential for long-term success. It's not enough to be excellent in one area of life, such as work or fitness, if other areas are neglected. The idea is to create a symphony where all parts of life complement each other, working together toward a higher purpose. This approach fosters not only professional achievement but also personal happiness and well-being. The protagonist begins to understand that living in harmony with all aspects of her life requires conscious effort and discipline. While ambition is important, it must be tempered with self-care, emotional intelligence, and a sense of connection to one's deeper purpose. By nurturing all areas of life, she becomes more centered and grounded, better able to handle challenges and make decisions that align with her long-term goals. The Victory Hour, a key to harmony. As the protagonist continues her journey, the Victory Hour remains a key pillar in her transformation. The billionaire explains that starting the day with purpose and intention creates a solid foundation for the rest of the day. The Victory Hour, which consists of exercise, reflection, and learning, sets the tone for the day, allowing her to create a state of balance from the moment she wakes up. Through exercise, the protagonist strengthens her body and enhances her mental clarity. Physical activity in the morning not only boosts energy levels but also helps clear the mind, making it easier to focus and stay present throughout the day. This practice becomes a form of self-love, as she learns to honor her body and its needs. Reflection during the victory hour allows the protagonist to check in with herself, to assess her progress, and to set intentions for the day. This practice of mindfulness is essential for staying connected to her inner world, helping her avoid distractions and stay grounded in her purpose. Journaling and meditation help clear mental clutter, fostering emotional resilience and mental clarity. Learning is another key aspect of the victory hour that plays a vital role in the protagonist's development. She spends time reading, studying, and expanding her knowledge. The billionaire teaches her that continuous learning is essential for personal and professional growth. By feeding her mind with new ideas and perspectives, she nurtures her intellectual well-being, which helps her make better decisions and stay aligned with her goals. Emotional intelligence and relationships. In Chapter 15, the focus expands beyond individual habits to encompass the importance of emotional intelligence and how it impacts relationships. The protagonist learns that emotional intelligence is a critical skill for navigating the challenges of life and building strong, meaningful connections with others. By mastering her emotions, she becomes more self-aware and empathetic, able to respond thoughtfully to situations rather than react impulsively. The billionaire encourages her to embrace the power of emotional resilience. He explains that emotions are not inherently good or bad, they are simply signals that can help guide decisions. Emotional intelligence involves recognizing, understanding, and managing emotions in a healthy way. The protagonist practices mindfulness and emotional regulation, learning how to detach from negative emotions like fear, anger, and frustration, and instead focus on more constructive responses. As the protagonist's emotional intelligence improves, she begins to notice how her relationships evolve. She becomes more present with those around her, listening deeply, and offering support when needed. She also learns the importance of setting healthy boundaries, a skill that enables her to protect her energy while maintaining healthy, mutually respectful relationships. The chapter also highlights how the 5 a.m. habit positively impacts her relationships. By starting the day with focus and intention, she is more emotionally grounded and able to approach her interactions with others in a more compassionate and thoughtful manner. This not only strengthens her personal connections but also enhances her ability to lead and inspire those around her. The role of creativity in success. Chapter 15 underscores the importance of creativity as an essential element of success. The billionaire explains that creativity is not just about artistic expression but about finding innovative solutions to problems, thinking outside the box, and applying new perspectives to everyday challenges. Creativity allows individuals to adapt, grow, and solve complex issues in novel ways. The protagonist begins to recognize that creativity is a skill that can be cultivated through consistent practice and intention. The victory hour, with its emphasis on exercise, reflection, and learning, also nurtures her creativity. By engaging in these practices each morning, she is able to clear her mind and make space for creative insights to flow. Whether it's through journaling, brainstorming, or simply allowing herself time to think, the protagonist begins to see how creativity is an essential tool for achieving her goals and living a fulfilling life. The billionaire shares his own creative process, which involves carving out time for deep work and allowing the mind to wander freely. He encourages the protagonist to embrace moments of stillness and quiet, as these are often when the best ideas emerge. She learns that creativity is not something that can be forced, it is a natural byproduct of nurturing the mind, body, and spirit. Financial mastery and abundance. Another critical lesson in Chapter 15 is the concept of financial mastery. The billionaire teaches the protagonist that wealth is not just about accumulating money, it is about creating a mindset of abundance and financial freedom. This mindset involves understanding the value of money, investing wisely, and using resources to create opportunities for growth and impact. The protagonist learns that true wealth comes from leveraging one's skills, time, and energy in ways that generate long-term value. She begins to see money as a tool, not an end goal. By focusing on personal growth, contributing value to the world, and developing financial intelligence, she is able to create a life of abundance, not just in terms of finances, but in all aspects of life. The billionaire also emphasizes the importance of giving back. Financial mastery, he explains, is not only about accumulating wealth but also about using it to make a positive impact on others and the world. The protagonist learns that true abundance is about generosity and creating a legacy of service and value that goes beyond personal gain. Living a life of purpose and legacy. As Chapter 15 draws to a close, the protagonist reflects on the profound lessons she has learned. She understands that living a life of mastery is about creating harmony between all aspects of life, health, relationships, finances, and personal growth. By aligning her actions with her deeper purpose, she is able to live a life of fulfillment, impact, and legacy. The chapter concludes with a powerful reminder that success is not just about achieving external goals, it's about living in alignment with one's core values and making a positive impact on the world. The protagonist now understands that she is part of a much larger symphony, a web of interconnected lives and experiences. By living with intention, cultivating personal mastery, and staying true to her purpose, she is creating a lasting legacy that will resonate far beyond her own life. Chapter 16: The Evolution of a Legacy. In Chapter 16 of the 5 a.m. Club, the protagonist's journey towards mastery and success continues as she deepens her understanding of the importance of legacy. This chapter takes a reflective turn, emphasizing the role that lasting impact plays in one's life and the steps required to build a legacy that transcends mere material success. Through the teachings of the billionaire, the protagonist uncovers a deeper layer of personal growth. The realization that true greatness lies not only in personal achievement but in the positive influence one has on others. Understanding the true meaning of legacy. Legacy is not just about leaving behind wealth, status, or accolades. In this chapter, the billionaire teaches the protagonist that a meaningful legacy is rooted in the contribution one makes to the world, the lives they touch, and the values they instill in others. A life well lived is one where the pursuit of excellence is aligned with service to others, and the protagonist begins to understand that the true measure of success is not in what one accumulates but in how one elevates others. The billionaire challenges the protagonist to think beyond short-term goals and material success and to focus on creating something of lasting value. Legacy is about making a difference in the world, whether it's through innovation, kindness, leadership, or contributions to one's community. This idea shifts the protagonist's mindset, helping her to see that the pursuit of success should not be an isolated journey. Instead, it is one that involves bringing others along, helping them to grow, and ensuring that the work one does continues to ripple outwards long after they are gone. As she reflects on this new perspective, the protagonist feels a deep sense of purpose. She starts to realize that the true power of the 5 a.m. Club routine lies in its ability to help individuals become the best versions of themselves so they can contribute to the world in meaningful ways. Personal mastery, as she now understands, is the foundation for a legacy of service, influence, and lasting change. The 5 a.m. Club, a tool for creating a legacy. In this chapter, the 5 a.m. Club routine becomes a tool not only for personal growth but for leaving a lasting legacy. The billionaire emphasizes that the earlier one wakes up and begins the day with intention, the more time they have to create something extraordinary. The victory hour, consisting of exercise, reflection, and learning, plays a critical role in shaping a life that is aligned with one's values and purpose. The protagonist now sees that the time she dedicates to personal growth in the early hours of the morning is not just for her own benefit, it's for the good of others as well. By waking up early, she has more energy, clarity, and focus to create, to serve, and to lead in ways that positively impact those around her. The 5 a.m. habit, she realizes, is an investment in not only her future but in the future of those she touches through her work, actions, and leadership. The billionaire's mentorship reinforces the idea that the success of the 5 a.m. club is not about getting ahead at all costs, it's about getting ahead so that one can better serve and elevate others. As the protagonist begins to apply these principles, she notices that her work becomes more purposeful, her leadership more impactful, and her relationships more meaningful. The role of emotional intelligence in legacy building. As Chapter 16 progresses, the billionaire delves deeper into the topic of emotional intelligence and its essential role in legacy building. He explains that success is not just about intellectual mastery but also about emotional intelligence, the ability to understand, manage, and harness emotions effectively. Emotional intelligence allows individuals to connect with others on a deeper level, to inspire, and to lead with empathy and compassion. The protagonist reflects on her own emotional growth, noticing that her increased emotional intelligence has allowed her to become a more effective communicator, a better listener, and a more supportive leader. She learns that emotional intelligence is essential for building lasting relationships, both personally and professionally, and that these relationships are the foundation of any legacy. By mastering her emotions, the protagonist becomes more resilient in the face of challenges. She also learns to respond to others' emotions with empathy and understanding, allowing her to navigate difficult situations with grace. This emotional strength not only supports her personal development but also enables her to create a positive impact on others, helping them to grow alongside her. Creating a legacy through leadership. In Chapter 16, leadership takes on a broader meaning. The billionaire teaches the protagonist that leadership is not about titles or authority but about influence, about inspiring others to take action and reach their full potential. The protagonist begins to see leadership as an act of service, where the goal is to empower others to rise to their best selves. Leadership, she learns, is about setting an example, providing support, and nurturing the growth of those around you. The more one focuses on their own growth, the more they can serve others in meaningful ways. By living a life of mastery, the protagonist becomes a leader in her own right, whether it's in her personal life, her professional endeavors, or her community. As the protagonist's understanding of leadership deepens, she begins to take action. She focuses on uplifting others, whether through mentoring, teaching, or simply being an example of what's possible when one commits to personal mastery. The more she invests in the growth of others, the more her legacy becomes one of shared success, collective growth, and community impact. The importance of consistency and discipline. Another crucial element that contributes to legacy building is consistency. The billionaire teaches the protagonist that a legacy is not built on sporadic bursts of effort but on consistent, deliberate action over time. By practicing the 5 a.m. routine daily, she begins to develop the discipline needed to stay focused on her goals, even when faced with setbacks or distractions. The protagonist learns that consistency is what creates momentum and brings about long-term change. The daily practice of the victory hour, combined with the lessons on personal mastery, helps her maintain a sense of direction and purpose. Every day, she moves closer to the vision of herself and the legacy she wishes to create. Through this process, the protagonist begins to see that legacy is built not just on grand moments of success but on the daily habits, the small decisions, and the consistent actions taken over time. By committing to the 5 a.m. club routine, she is building a foundation of excellence and discipline that will serve her for the rest of her life. A legacy of innovation and service. As the chapter draws to a close, the protagonist reflects on the role of innovation in legacy building. The billionaire explains that a true legacy is not just about following in the footsteps of others but about paving new paths, creating innovative solutions, and challenging the status quo. The protagonist learns that innovation is a powerful tool for making a lasting impact, whether through business, art, technology, or any other field. The chapter encourages the protagonist to think about the ways in which she can create something new and valuable, something that will continue to impact others long after she is gone. Whether it's through writing, entrepreneurship, or charitable work, she learns that the possibilities for innovation are limitless. By dedicating herself to creative problem-solving and service to others, she can create a legacy that inspires future generations. Conclusion: the legacy of mastery and service. In the final moments of Chapter 16, the protagonist's journey takes a powerful turn. She understands now that the path to greatness is not just about achieving success for oneself but about creating a legacy of service, leadership, and lasting impact. Through the 5 a.m. habit, the practice of personal mastery, and the commitment to emotional intelligence and consistency, she begins to shape a life that will inspire others and leave a positive, lasting mark on the world. As the chapter concludes, the protagonist is filled with a sense of purpose. She realizes that she is not just living for herself but for the generations that will follow, and the impact she has on others will be the true measure of her success. Through her dedication to mastering her mind, body, and emotions, she is on her way to creating a legacy that will endure long beyond her time on this earth. Chapter 17: The Legends Return. In Chapter 17 of the 5 a.m. Club, the protagonist's journey deepens as she begins to understand the full scope of the teachings provided by the billionaire and the transformative power of the 5 a.m. habit. This chapter serves as a turning point in her growth, where she starts to truly internalize the concepts of self-mastery, resilience, and the long-term vision needed to build a legacy. The teachings in this chapter highlight the importance of consistency, disciplined habits, and the pursuit of excellence in every aspect of life. Reinforcing the 5 a.m. habit. The 5 a.m. habit remains a central theme, and the protagonist, now fully invested in her transformation, begins to feel the profound effects of starting each day with purpose. The morning routine becomes more than just a habit, it evolves into a sacred time of self-reflection, growth, and alignment with her deeper goals. Through consistent practice of the victory hour, exercise, reflection, and learning, she taps into a level of energy, clarity, and focus that she had never experienced before. The billionaire continues to reinforce the idea that this early morning ritual is not simply about waking up early but about setting the tone for the day and creating a foundation for personal mastery. By dedicating the first hour of the day to self-care, the protagonist learns that she can set herself up for success in every area of her life, from her career to her relationships. The chapter emphasizes that success is not accidental, it is the result of deliberate, purposeful action taken day in and day out. As the protagonist reflects on the changes she has experienced, she notices how her mind and body are both transforming. She feels more energized, focused, and driven to take on new challenges. This shift is not just physical, it is mental and emotional as well. The discipline she has cultivated through the 5 a.m. habit gives her a sense of control and confidence that spills over into other areas of her life, allowing her to make better decisions and respond to challenges with resilience. The power of consistency and momentum. One of the key lessons in Chapter 17 is the importance of consistency. The billionaire explains that success is not about making big, dramatic changes all at once. Rather, it is about small, consistent actions taken over time that create lasting transformation. The protagonist learns that it is the accumulation of small wins, whether it's exercising every morning, reading for 30 minutes, or writing in her journal, that builds the momentum necessary to achieve her larger goals. The chapter stresses that consistency, more than anything else, is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. The protagonist realizes that by sticking to her daily routine, even when it feels difficult or unmotivating, she is building a foundation of success that will pay off in the long run. The key is not to seek immediate gratification but to trust in the process and stay committed to the journey. Momentum becomes a powerful force in the protagonist's life. As she continues to show up each day, even when it's challenging, she begins to notice the cumulative effects of her efforts. She experiences greater productivity, creativity, and emotional resilience, and she sees that the more she commits to her goals, the easier it becomes to stay focused and motivated. The inner circle of influence. As the protagonist continues her journey, she also learns the importance of surrounding herself with a supportive inner circle of people who share her values and vision for success. The billionaire explains that the people you associate with play a significant role in shaping your mindset, behaviors, and ultimately, your success. If you want to achieve greatness, you must choose your circle wisely. The protagonist begins to evaluate the relationships in her life, recognizing that some of them are uplifting and supportive, while others may be holding her back. She understands that in order to grow and achieve her fullest potential, she must surround herself with people who inspire and challenge her to be better. This realization leads her to make more intentional decisions about the people she spends time with, seeking out those who align with her vision of success. The inner circle is not just about the people you associate with but also the energy and values they bring into your life. By surrounding herself with individuals who support her growth, the protagonist feels empowered to take bold actions and pursue her goals with greater confidence. She also learns that leadership is not just about influencing others, it's about inspiring those around you to become the best versions of themselves as well. Living a life of purpose and passion. In this chapter, the billionaire also teaches the protagonist that the pursuit of excellence must be aligned with a deeper sense of purpose and passion. While it is easy to become consumed by the pursuit of success or wealth, true fulfillment comes from dedicating oneself to something meaningful and impactful. The protagonist learns that success without purpose is hollow, and it is only by following her passions and making a positive impact on the world that she can achieve lasting satisfaction. She starts to ask herself more profound questions about her purpose and the legacy she wants to leave behind. The idea of building something that transcends her personal achievements becomes a driving force in her life. The more she connects with her deeper why, the more motivated and inspired she becomes to continue her journey. The billionaire teaches her that passion is what fuels resilience. When the road gets tough, and it always does, it is the passion for your mission that keeps you going. By aligning her actions with her passion, the protagonist learns how to tap into a wellspring of motivation that helps her push through obstacles and setbacks. Reinventing yourself, the power of transformation. Chapter 17 also focuses on the theme of reinvention. The billionaire emphasizes that in order to truly reach one's potential, one must be willing to constantly reinvent themselves, shedding old habits and beliefs that no longer serve them. The protagonist begins to see that transformation is an ongoing process and that it requires a willingness to embrace change and let go of limiting patterns from the past. She learns that reinvention is not about changing who you are but about evolving into a better version of yourself. This process involves self-reflection, self-awareness, and a commitment to growth. The protagonist takes time each day to examine her thoughts, behaviors, and goals, asking herself whether they align with the person she wants to become. She recognizes that every day is an opportunity for reinvention, and the 5 a.m. club routine is the perfect environment for this kind of growth. The concept of reinvention also extends to how the protagonist views challenges and setbacks. Rather than seeing obstacles as roadblocks, she begins to see them as opportunities for growth and learning. Reinvention, she learns, is not about avoiding failure but about using failure as a stepping stone to greater success. Mastering the mind, mental fitness. In this chapter, the importance of mental fitness is emphasized. The protagonist learns that just as physical fitness is crucial for health and vitality, mental fitness is necessary for clarity, focus, and success. She practices techniques such as mindfulness, visualization, and positive affirmations, which help her cultivate a resilient and empowered mindset. Through daily reflection and journaling, the protagonist works to reprogram her thoughts and beliefs, replacing negativity and self-doubt with positivity and self-assurance. The billionaire teaches her that mental fitness is a lifelong practice and that developing a strong, positive mindset is essential for achieving success and living a fulfilled life. The end of the journey and the beginning of new beginnings. As Chapter 17 nears its conclusion, the protagonist realizes that her journey is far from over. The lessons she has learned have only just begun to shape her life, and she now understands that true success is not a destination but a continuous process of growth and mastery. She feels empowered, equipped with the tools and mindset needed to navigate the challenges ahead. The billionaire's final lesson in this chapter is a powerful reminder. Success is not just about achieving personal goals but about the impact one has on the world. The protagonist is now more committed than ever to using her newfound knowledge and discipline to create a life of purpose, passion, and lasting legacy. As we wrap up this transformative journey through the 5 a.m. Club, remember that the path to mastery, success, and lasting legacy begins with the small, deliberate actions you take each day. The 5 a.m. habit is not just about waking up early, it's about making each morning a fresh opportunity for growth, reflection, and learning. By committing to a daily routine that nurtures your mind, body, and spirit, you set yourself up for a life of excellence and impact, where every decision you make echoes the legacy you wish to leave behind. Just as the protagonist learned from the billionaire, your personal growth isn't a destination but a continuous journey. By embracing consistency, discipline, and purpose, you begin to create the life you've always dreamed of, one that doesn't just fulfill you but also inspires and elevates those around you. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the 5 a.m. Club. If you're ready to start your own transformation, remember, the first step begins with you. Take the lessons you've learned today and apply them in your own life, because the best version of yourself is waiting to be unlocked. If you've found value in today's content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more motivational insights and personal growth tips. Keep waking up early, keep mastering your life, and as always, stay tuned for more on Mind Fuel Audio, where your journey to success never stops.